It's a cruel It's a cruel, cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Now you're gone. You're not the only one. It's a cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer.
You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You can touch a God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Can you stop it, you're gonna find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first annual Physical Horror Media Hall of Fame, boss. Sort of a big deal.
Oh my God.
What is up, boys? That was rocking. I loved that intro. I loved it. Look at you guys. We're looking so spiffy tonight for this annual first ever Hall of Fame. Dude, how killer was the red carpet earlier? That was fun, right?
Yeah.
Took some pictures.
A lot of
I talked to the corpse of Joan Rivers.
Yeah, remember that?
A lot of fun.
Corpse of Joan
There
Rivers.
was some big wigs out there. The Anchor Bay guys were there. It was killer, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's just curious on who's coming out on top tonight.
You guys missed it out. We were all the way live on MySpace with that special for just our MySpace followers, the red carpet. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we got some people in here already. My Killer Podcast is in the house. Melanie from My Killer Podcast. What's up? Don't Fear the Reaper. She's addicted to our 2007 rendition of Don't Fear the Reaper on YouTube.
I saw that. I was like, Jesus Christ. I really wish the guitar had been in tune when we did that. That would have been...
My mandolin was in tune, though. I was just picking and grinning.
Yep.
Lymphatic Phlegm. Did I pronounce that correctly? I am from Eastern Kentucky, so what's going on? Movie Junkie John. Yeah. DEADPIT then, now, and forever. Yes, you got it. What's up, Stuntman Mark, Joe Stradamus, David, Andrea. I probably mispronounced that. Kill that like button. We're going to kill it tonight, but after 11 p.m., boys, we're going to tell you what to do with it. Something else you can do with it.
That's right. Ooh, it's special.
Robert Long, what's going on, brother? The Subjective Perspective Collective is in the house. It's hot as hell, boys. I'm going to burn the hell up tonight. In this coat.
I'm nice. I
got
here.
the leather blazer and the leather cap that smells like Vader's ass. Oh, Curly Jaws is in the house. He's one of his picks is the Fog 2005 DVD release. He thinks
might
that
see it.
deserves.
You might see that
We'll
tonight.
see. Wesley, I think he's over in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. He's definitely overseas somewhere. So we appreciate you sticking around, whatever time it is where you're at. Scatterbrain 614, what's up? So yeah, going to be a fun show tonight, guys. 6 inductees, which we're going to get started with those here in just a little bit. But the basic idea of this is, everyone talks about the latest Vinegar Syndrome release, the latest Arrow Video 4K or whatever else. But what were the titles, boss, that got us to this point? So there were some pillars, if you will. The pillars that started the physical media thing. And that's what we're doing, at least for this one, I think. I think we're going to go into some of the earlier titles that led us up to this point with physical media.
Sounds good to me. I'm excited.
I'm ready.
Excited to see you guys nominated here.
So yeah, Phantasmat. Jeez, I don't know. You can easily get really far behind here. Nice jacket and tithe. Lucio Inferno, K-Dog. All right. So Phantasmat 100 is in the house. Rambo fan, what's going on, dude?
What's up, man?
You guys are talking about best releases, but for each of you, what was the most disappointing release, Blu-ray or box set wise? So that's a good one.
Yeah, I might have to think about that, but that is a really good question.
I know. I mean, of like recently or of all time? Because that would be tough.
Of all
to do, like-
time. Let's do both. Of all time and or recently.
All time.
Jesus, that fucking Nightmare on Elm Street box set.
Oh yeah, that would be up there.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, the Blu-ray set.
Yeah.
That'd be up there.
That's got to be one of the worst.
That's pretty horrible.
Even as much as at the time, I think it was really well liked and excited. Looking back on it now, I think the first box set for Friday the 13th, the DVD, like the From Crystal Lake to Manhattan, was kind of lame. When you look back on it, it was the one that had like just 1 through 8, and it was in that like little red box, and they had all the discs where I think like 2 movies per disc. Remember that one?
Yeah, I got that actually sent to me by Tom McLaughlin. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's
but
good if it's free, yeah.
yeah, it was free. I never bought that actually.
Well, at the time, it was exciting because it was the first time we got so many in one hit. So I would say it wasn't disappointing at the time, but I think looking back on it now, I think it could have been way better considering what some of the other things franchises were doing at that time. But, I mean, I'd have to really think long and hard about this.
What are your thoughts about the one that came in the tin? Because I found that out there when I was looking for all this other shit.
I always liked that one. I felt like it was a good one. I mean, it had everything in it. The only thing I didn't like was the way it was packaged. They had like those little sleeves that you just kind of slide in. And I think there was maybe a few of them that were like 2 movies per 1 disc, which kind of sucked. But I mean, it came with a nice bunch of goodies inside. I always thought it was kind of neat. But
That was
there
the
some
first
problems with it.
Blu-ray releases too
Yeah.
for a lot of those movies. And
Yeah.
wasn't the deal with that one though? It didn't have a spine on it. It didn't have like the label on the spine.
No,
or
it didn't have
whatever.
anything on it. It was just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always hate that. We got our buddy Ken from Mid-Level Media. What
up,
is
Ken?
up,
What's up,
gentlemen? He says we all look like $1 million.
That's right.
And also,
Partying before you.
anybody in the chat hasn't checked out our conversation with Ken over on his channel, definitely check that out. We had a lot of fun, kind of just bullshitting for a couple of hours on, what day was that, Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lepke Vision Films is in the house as well. He wants more cowbell in the song. I don't know if cowbell would... You could probably add some cowbell in there. How would you add it in there, Uncle Bill? You're the drummer.
What, cowbell?
Yeah, in that song.
I mean, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of ways you can add cowbell to it. So you just got to go straight in, just like... Yeah, it's kind of always there.
Oh gosh. Sharks of the Corn takes place in Kentucky, Uncle Bill. So that's one that you got to add to the Monday Night Jaws lineup. Sharks of the Corn.
Oh my God! Yeah, Sharks of the Corn. Who made that movie? If it was made in Lexington, we probably know who it is.
George Benilla, the gorilla
Has to be.
granola.
It's either going to be him or who's the other guy that used to make stuff all the time in Lexington?
Tim Ritter.
No, not Tim Ritter. This is a younger guy.
I have no idea.
Oh God, what was his name?
Jason Crow.
He made the Red River movie and all that stuff.
Oh, Jacob Enos.
Yeah, there you go. It's probably him.
Got Andrew Bernowski in the house. He's been searching
right.
for our show. He says, keep rolling, 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 baby.
You know what time it is.
Category 3 and me. What's up, Bulls? We're coming up on Scream Factory disappointment season. They announced their Halloween releases next month. Well, right around this time last year is when they announced the first batch of those, the leaf blowing Halloween editions.
Yeah, they're coming. They're going to be coming for sure. To be honest, if I want to tell you about what I think, I don't give a shit about any of those movies, to be quite honest with you. But
Ooh.
I'm going to buy them because I need to complete that 4K collection. So as long as they look like those other ones, I've got to have them at this point because, being somewhat of a completionist still, I'll take them. But I'm personally not a big fan of any of them, to be honest.
I'm trying to imagine what those will look like how they'll make them look all shitty like they did last time. So like...
I mean...
Well,
They got to be the
there's-
same idea. They can't make it look different. I would think they would have to.
No,
make
they're
it
stuck.
uniform.
They're stuck with the leaves now. They have to be at least till the end of this.
I think if Resurrection, they've got like Busta Rhymes like in the leaves. That'd be funny.
That would be pretty
that would be
cool.
killer. You know he's going to be on the front of that somehow or another.
They're
Like,
gonna-
I'm
they're
not
gonna
sure
do
how.
that.
Yeah.
I think the presentations will look great. Like I think the 4K will make Part 6 look really good. But I personally, I'm not a huge fan of 6, 7, 8. So, but I'll get them.
Yeah, I'll probably end up getting for sure like 6 and maybe H2O. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, there's no way I can get Resurrection. Like I could never watch that movie again.
Oh, Curly Jaws, yeah, I'm seeing where you did send me, but I'll have to check it out a little bit later. The video for his Hall of Fame picks. So we'll definitely post that for you and appreciate the super chat, dude. The mayor says we look more like we're $19.99, not $1 million.
Well, buddy.
That's something at least. So guys, yeah, I'll do the Rob Zombie. He's coming to 4K. You can see my well. And Laurie Strode running from Michael in 4K. Yeah. Okay. So who wants to go first, boys? The inductions. We're going two apiece. Two apiece. Does anybody have any VHSs?
No.
Nope.
So this is the rules. It can be anything, boys. If you think there's a Betamax tape out there that furthered the collecting, which I don't know if that's the case.
I don't think that exists, really, does it?
No.
But I know one. I've got one though that I think did further a lot of people's careers,
What's that?
and including
Your first pick?
this is my first pick, including our own, and that is David H. Guzlin's "Cry," which has a quote.
Look
Got a
at that
quote
damn
from you.
cover, boys.
Spooky.
I don't know what that is.
What the hell does that quote say? I can't read it.
It says, "Doesn't." So killer, you gave it a good quote. It doesn't take much to make a masterpiece. All you have to have is naked babes, violence, and blood, and this film has all three. The Creepy Kentuckian from DEADPIT.com. Circa, I don't even know. It doesn't have a date on it.
Probably like 2008, 2009.
But
something
I
like
mean,
that.
this one's got it all: acting, suspense, drama. David H. Guzlin's "Cry." That's my pick. Going into the.
That's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like its own like wing. Like it's gonna
Well,
have
that was his follow up
like
to
the indie wing or
Haddonfield.
something.
So he did
Indie wing of the
Haddonfield.
Hall
That
of
was
Fame.
That was a big success. We were
Dude,
in
I
that.
saw that fucking cover when I was looking for that. I was like, I have to. There ain't no. Look at that.
That's Stacy T. Gillespie, boys,
Look at him.
on the cover. He
He's
looks
like-
really pissed off.
I'm gonna kill you. Anyway, that's not my real pick, but I mean, it kind of might have been. So my first one, if I can get this thing, because this thing's actually bigger than I remembered it being, is
Show me.
released in 2005. That's hard to
The
believe.
first inductee.
What you got there, boys?
Is
Ooh.
the
Yes.
OG
It is.
Anchor Bay Phantasm Sphere set, which included, mine's in pretty rough shape, but it included all, at that time, 4 of the movies and a bonus disc with special features. Unfortunately, it's Region 2, but I just remember, though, like, getting this right around the time that it came out and thinking, like, it was the coolest goddamn thing ever.
Oh, Carly Jaws wants that, boys.
Yeah.
I think he was talking about Cry. No shit.
Oh,
Yeah. But I mean, just the idea of doing this, which I think like everybody had thought of, would be an awesome idea at that time, and then they finally did it. And this fucking sphere is like huge. Like
Yeah.
it's not like I've got the other one, which is basically like what the spheres in the movies you imagine would be like, about that size. But this one is like the size of a fucking, I don't know, cantaloupe or something.
it's bigger than a softball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The are you going to take it out, or do you? I've got one over here if you want to showcase.
I can,
how big
yeah.
it is.
Hold on.
So
Show
do
us
you
the
guys
size
remember?
of your balls.
Do you guys remember where you got that? Because I can remember that was like, it was so sought after at the time. It was so different. I think I had to go on like Amazon UK to pick that up, or maybe eBay UK. I don't remember what I did, but I had to do something to get that. It was not easy to come by back
It
then.
was. I pre-ordered mine on Amazon UK. I believe.
That might have been what I did too then, because I can remember it was like a.
It
you
took
know,
forever.
I had to do- yeah.
So here's the little book that came with it. Comes with it. Came with it. Which is just like a synopsis of all the films. Phantasm. Phantasm 2 and 3. And then at that time, where they should have fucking ended it, was Phantasm 4.
Oh, Carly Jaws is putting over Ravager. He said that was the best one of the
I'm
bunch.
sure he is. I'm positive he is, yeah. So I've never opened this, to my knowledge. And you can see like the little thing, the blades are still like taped.
Oh, really? I thought you
yeah.
had that on display in your room before or whatever. No, you
No, I
never
mean, it's
opened
always
it?
been in the package. Like, I've never had it on display, like, outside the package.
Oh, shit.
So I'm not even sure if I can open this thing up.
Well, if you don't want to open it, I can show you how they got the discs in there.
Yeah, open it up. Because it's still taped on the inside.
That thing is mint, brother.
I have to shine mine up every once in a while, you know. So, yeah, I mean, this is like,
I think
give you an idea on size. Blu-ray to, yeah, pretty big size sphere. And the discs, were, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm guessing it probably scratch them. I don't know, but all 5 of them fit in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
at the
this is
time,
like
though,
a-
that thing was just, it was unreal.
This is like a plastic material, though, too. So the other one that Welgo did, that one's actually like metal, isn't it?
Yes, I've got that one over here, too, if you wanted to. I could whip that one out. It's actually behind me over here somewhere. I'm going to whip it out at you.
Yeah, I have that one in the box. I never did take it out, but over in the U.S. at the time too. What did we? I don't think Part 2 was even out on DVD.
No,
in the
it wasn't.
US.
This was the only way to get it. So
Yeah.
this was the first time I ever got that. Was from that set. Was Part 2.
And I think the same thing goes for Part 3 as well. Is that
That
right?
came out, but I think it was after this set did.
Yeah. So
Anchor
So-
Bay did it. Yeah.
So get this, okay? Rambo asked how much this was when it came out. This set was $35 when it
Was
came
it
out.
really? I was gonna say I think like 60, but no, 35, huh?
Yeah, it was $35, and they limited it to 20,000 units only. So that's actually a fairly small run for that time period because like physical media was huge around that time. But 20,000 units wasn't anything back then. Some people say that this, is going for a lot on eBay. It's not really going for that much. You can get one for about $100, anywhere between 100 to 120.
Matt has an interesting question here. And we'll try to keep up with the chat a little bit because, I know we've been kind of neglecting the chat occasionally on here. But do you ever see the Phantasm films coming out in 4K?
Yes. I at this point, I don't think Welgo's going to do it though. I think Don's kind of had it with them after that debacle last time. I think you're going to see Phantasm distributed by probably Arrow, because they do the UK one. So I'm thinking they're probably going to do a 4K set, probably with the Sphere again. I'm assuming, but I have a tough time thinking they're going to let Welgo take over that for 4K after last time.
Yeah, I mean, when somebody asked, like, what was our biggest... that was the first one that came to my mind.
Me too.
Was that fucking Phantasm Welgo thing. Because, I mean, I've never seen anything that poorly packaged and that, like, just... The whole thing was awful. And the thing with the second disc... I don't think that if he does do that through Welgo, then I probably wouldn't buy it. I probably wouldn't buy anything else from Welgo after that.
Spurgeon wants a Phantasm ball made of hard milk chocolate and filled with marshmallows. That does sound pretty good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But that's the only Phantasm ball I have. I never got any of the re-releases or anything like that, so that's the only one I have as far as the sets.
Yeah, that would have been a cool thing to have signed by the Tall Man. I actually had him sign my one sheet poster over there, though.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious though, so let's real quick, because I've never really looked at this, to be honest, other than, look at that nice picture.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so you had the Phantasm 1, and it had audio commentary with Coscarelli, introduction by Angus Scrimm, deleted scenes and behind the scenes. Then Phantasm 2 just had the audio commentary and a bunch of TV spots. Phantasm 3 had an audio commentary with Michael Baldwin and Angus Scrimm. Phantasm 4 had the audio commentary. And there was a bonus disc that had... Bonus,
baby!
It had a Genesis featurette, Phantasmagoria, and the Phantasmagorical Mystery Tour.
Phil Collins was on there?
Yeah, he was on there playing drums. And it had a Gory Days featurette with Greg Nicotero. So the Phantasm Genesis thing was a featurette about how, like, Phantasm began, how the making of the movie began. Phantasmagoria was a documentary, which was 90 minutes, which had Reggie and Angus and Michael Baldwin in it. And the Phantasmagorical Mystery Tour was Reggie took you on a tour of all the key locations, including the graveyard, the Red Planet, the Morningside Cemetery, etc., etc., etc. And then the Gory Days featurette was Greg Nicotero talking about Phantasm 2 and Intruder as well.
Cool.
Special effects.
Jostradamus 75, don't you think Vinegar Syndrome might release Phantasm since they released Beastmaster?
That would be killer, actually.
That would be awesome. I think if Vinegar Syndrome did Phantasm, they would want to do something very special and maybe even go back and remake that 3-hour cut of Phantasm as like a bonus or something.
Oh, man, I would freaking
really cool.
mark out for that big time. So imagine seeing that the way it was attended like that. It would just be mind-blowing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd be good to have that option, is what I'm saying. I mean, you definitely have the theatrical version as well, but they're all about those multiple versions of movies.
Do y'all remember, though, when Phantasm 2 first came out on DVD? Because that was kind of a big deal at that time.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, watching that movie all the time on cable, but it never had any kind of DVD. I don't remember what year that would have been. It was early on.
It was like a generic fucking release, too.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't have any extras or anything on it.
Probably. I mean, I'm thinking it had to have been. It was after that set, so maybe 2007, maybe?
Yeah, we were doing the show because I remember we marked out for it, so it had to be sometime after that.
Yeah,
2005.
Universal, I think, released it, didn't they? It was like just a bare bones Universal budget release, I think. So yeah, that's definitely a great choice there, Uncle Bill. The Phantasm Sphere Collection from Anchor Bay in the UK.
Great one. Great to sit there on the stand as for the first inductee in the first class, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. It's interesting to look at the studios that's responsible for some of these titles as well. We'll have to keep track and see if there's any studio that's got 2 on here, right?
I bet there will be.
Yeah.
For some reason.
So who wants to go? You want me to go? You go?
You can go, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I want to go with mine in the order of which they were released, because I think that this one is really important as far as a horror title and the extra materials and everything, and just the time that it came out. And this one is a Laserdisc, right? And I did a little bit of research on this, you know. I'm a horror journalist from way back in the day. So this is the Criterion Collection edition of John Carpenter's Halloween. And this particular edition is the 2-disc from 1994 is how old this thing is.
Hell yeah.
1994, boys. Criterion Collection. The spine number is 247. I know that's very important for some people. But for the longest time, damn you. For the longest time, this was you're stupid computers interrupting me, boys. I don't like it. So for the longest time, this was the version of Halloween to get. The television cut is on here. Now, to get to the television cut, you do have to program the chapters manually, which was a big thing back in the Laserdisc era. Audio commentary with John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis. And tons of other special features is on here. Isolated soundtrack and all that good stuff. And I think this is the first horror release kind of this era for Criterion, and maybe the only one. But I think it led to, 5 years later was the Anchor Bay, which ported over all those extras. But for the time, 1994, I was a freshman in high school in 1994.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
You think I'm that old?
No, I thought we were the same.
No, I'm a little bit older than you. This is Gatefold edition. This thing, when it came out, though, get this, 1994. Now, let's go back to how much shit was in 1994.
When you think of 1994, okay, let me just ask you guys really quick, just to see how similar we are. When you think of 1994, when you hear that number, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Now, I just want to tell you what mine is.
Oh,
as soon as you said it, I just it something could trigger, which brought me back to that time, and I knew exactly what was going on.
You guys will never guess what brings me back to 1994 immediately, what I think of.
All right, do you want me to tell you what mine
What?
is?
I have no idea.
You can say it. Go.
I think of the Detroit Pistons and Grant Hill for some reason, 1994.
Okay.
1994.
1994. The first thing that
I think he
pops
got
into my head.
drafted that year, yeah.
First thing that pops into my head is Bret Hart and Lex Luger going over the top rope in the Rumble at the exact same time. That's the first thing that comes into my head every single time.
And that wasn't
That's a
supposed
good
to
one.
happen, I don't think either, right?
Yeah, it was. But it was 1994, January 1994, Royal Rumble. Yeah, I don't know. And that's just kind of, it gets me on like, okay, I know where I am in 1994. I know, it's kind of funny though. The wrestling in like baseball cards is what like gets my brain to like remember certain dates and stuff like that. So.
Oh my god!
But
I can tell you. Okay, I can tell you exactly though what just popped into my head. Watching Dazed and Confused like a week before I started high school, and thinking that for sure I was going to be fucking murdered. So 94 was when we both started high school. Was when we were freshmen. So like a week.
Yeah,
before
we're that old, Garrett, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, I was in middle school in 94, so that's why I was asking. That's why I was confused that you guys were already in high school.
Yeah, well, it had to be 94, didn't it? Like it.
Well,
the
the fall of 94 is when
Yeah.
we entered, we were freshmen in high school. So This would have been right around. This came out in like I've got the date here. I think
Because
it was
you remember
October.
Dazed and Confused. The whole plot of that movie is that
yeah.
Ben Affleck's trying to kill them kids that are fresh.
Yeah, we thought
I was like,
we was gonna get
this-
stuck.
Were you
It's
doing
not
that?
good.
Were you sitting like this? Like, were you doing this? Like they did like the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, I think all the freshmen were like that this year, that year. So. But, yeah, this one was October the 26th, 1994. So, for some reason, they released it right before Halloween. And I'm guessing it's one of those deals where you kind of had to special order it because 1994, again, go back, 50 cents for a can of pop. You could get a bag of chips for 50 cents. What, a magazine was like $2 or something like that. $100 in 1994.
God.
That's insane. Wow.
That's what this retailed for.
There's no
Wonder
way,
why-
man. Who the fuck would even buy that?
Well, I had to
One-
been people that were really into digital. Like that's the thing I tell Christian and stuff all the time when he talks about his laserdiscs. I'm like, dude, laserdiscs in my world never existed. Like there was,
No.
I knew nobody with them. I don't remember ever seeing them in stores. I didn't know about people that had laserdisc collections until I was like probably in my early 20s. I knew somebody that had a laserdisc collection, but it never existed in my world for some reason.
No, I don't think I knew anybody that owned a Laserdisc or a Laserdisc player either. Like, not in 1994 for sure.
There was a guy that a friend of mine knew that had a Laserdisc player, and he had brought it and left it over at his house for a summer or something like that. And we watched Terminator 2 on it, and I was just amazed because at this point in time, like, it was pre-DirecTV. I don't know, maybe DirecTV was around, but it's the first time I'd ever seen like a digital picture. And I was like, that doesn't even look right. I mean, that looks better than going to see a movie in a theater or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I never had the player until much later, like 2000. I think it was 2000, maybe 2001 when I picked up the Laserdisc player finally. And this was, at the time, this was still kind of a holy grail, if you will. I mean, it's still $70-$80 on eBay. Just because
I mean, that's got to be pricey now, right? It has to be.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's still like $60-$70 on eBay. But some of the extras that's on this, and again, it's 1994. This was in widescreen. It's probably the very first time this was available in widescreen. And people don't think about that now, but that was the big thing for a while. I mean, you got to see these movies. This one was in wide scope, 235-1, so it cut off like half the picture if you was watching it on pan and scan. So that was a big thing as well. But you had scene-specific audio commentary. The commentaries with John Carpenter, Deborah Hill, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Siskel and Ebert review of Halloween. The original theatrical trailer. Additional footage for the TV release. Photo essays. Any sort of special features, though. Think about that in 1994. Like, that's just so odd that they had this then. But I think Criterion was like the only company that was doing it.
Well, let me ask you, though, both of you, because there's like 100 versions of Halloween now. Like, what do you think is the best overall version of that movie? Like, Scream Factory just put out theirs in 4K not too very long ago. Like, what's the definitive edition of Halloween?
I mean, I'm thinking it's... Oh, go ahead.
I think it's the last one that they did, the Scream Factory one. I think that's the best looking one.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say it almost has to be, but at the same time, it does have the TV version on that too. Because like for me, I need to have that version somewhere on the disc for me to call it the best because that version meant so much to me growing up. It was the first one I saw. Those scenes are ones that I'm always going to remember. So I need to have that edition in there. And I always ask you guys this, and the people in the chat probably know, and you guys probably know, but I've actually never gone and done it. But which versions is the color different? Does the new Scream Factory have all those both editions where you have the color change? Like there was that blue hue, and then they took it out, and I never knew like which one. I would love to watch those side by side and really just see how different it looks. Now, does anybody know if the new Scream Factory has all those editions on it as well? Because I think it does, doesn't it? Like color timing edition or something.
I don't. That's the thing, though. Like the one that came out before Scream Factory, right? Which was the which version was that? It was the 4K that some big studio put out. I can't remember like which studio it was. There were people bitching like crazy about that one, like talking about that it wasn't like the color wasn't correct on it or anything like that.
Right.
And that they took the U out of it, the blue U that everybody talked about and all that. And so like it seems like every version of that movie they put out, there's somebody bitching about the color. Like it's like
like wasn't it like when the one that had that they took the color out, was that the one that came in like that digibook?
Yes.
Was that one?
Yeah.
And then
I'm pretty sure.
Wasn't it like, oh, so and so, he's the one who said this was a go. Like it might have been like the guy who did the camera or something, or like
Dean
Todd or something. Like, I forget what
The
they did, but like basically
Yeah.
somebody said, yeah, this is the way it needs to look. And then when they did it, people were pissed. And then when they came out the other one, I think they said what, like John Carpenter approved this one. Like, so like people are obviously have different visions and views of what this thing's supposed to look like that were behind the scenes. So to really watch them like one after the other, I think is something I want to do that I've never done. I've watched both of them, but not really that close together to really see the differences.
So I'm thinking there was an original Anchor Bay Blu-ray. That one still has the blue hues in it. Mm-hmm. That was like 2008.
Yeah, I think that one came in that mask set.
And it just had a standard release as well. So and then the 35th anniversary was the one in the digibook. That's the one where it looks like all that's taken out. It's just like, And if I'm not mistaken, they had the updated version. It's the same thing in that box set. But the newest one, I think there's too many of these fucking Halloween ones. But I think the newest one definitely has it in there, and I don't think it has any of the non-blue hue editions.
Well, they're always approved by somebody, and so I don't know.
So are you saying the only way to get that non-blue hue is that digibook? Because I think I sold mine, but
I think the box set has it too.
Okay, so I remember it had that disc in there. That's why I think I sold my digibook, but I wanted to make sure that they didn't fix it and then put it back in.
Yeah,
that's all.
Another thing I wanted to mention on here too, and I think that's Criterion, like especially back in the day, they were the best at being like minimalist, right? So the original artwork in black with just that logo. I really fucking wish that people would go back and do that shit now. Imagine like those same boxes that Scream Factory did. The exact same style box, but just this.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would want, and I don't want the silver thing on the top that says 4K or whatever. Like, yeah, man, of course. Yeah. Just black, no like Blu-ray or 4K strip on the top of the slip saying like what it is, just straight black. The logo, the original artwork, that to me is great because you just take the disc out and it's got all the info under there.
I still think though there's something about the leaf versions, the leaf blower editions
that just really turns you on.
Yeah, it gives it a certain charm.
But yeah, 1994 guys, and a follow-up to this, I was looking on the Laserdisc database, which is interesting as hell, by the way. All kinds of nerdy information you can find on there. 2 years later, they released a single edition of this, a single disc edition of this, that was $49.99, 1996. The difference is this one was CAV format, which was a half an hour of movie on each side, so the quality was better. And the one disc had no extras at all in it. So that's how you don't want to pay full price, buddy? Look, you only getting the movie, and it's going to be in shitty quality.
That's what Synapse should do.
That's it.
They should say, if you want this regular edition and not the limited steelbook, it's going to look crappier.
The single edition's a VHS rip. So.
I think it was Lucio Inferno mentioned on here that the inflation. No, it's Jostradamus.
Yeah.
Sorry. It would be $191 today.
True, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Can you imagine how much we would bitch if anybody released any movie that was $191?
Somebody
yeah.
said something in here that stood out. I'm trying to think what it was. Oh, Scatterbrain asked about the first DVD we ever bought, if you guys remembered. I do.
Yeah,
I
do
really
too.
don't.
Mine was Fright Night. The original Fright Night DVD was the first one I ever bought. I think it was like straight out of high school. I got the DVD player for graduation. That was what I went and bought.
I bought 2 at Suncoast Video, Suncoast Motion Picture Company, which there are still 5 of those left. We talked about that today. I think we all need to visit our closest one just for memory's sake.
Where are they?
Well, Garrett's got one in New Jersey. You're not too far from New Jersey, are you, Garrett?
Oh yeah, which part do you know?
No, I can Google
All right.
it for you though.
But I always drive down there for cons. I should probably stop off and do some picks.
There's one in Ohio,
Ohio.
and one in Texas, and one in, or there might be 2 in Texas, and one in North Kakalaki. They're all in malls, I think, still. So that's kind of cool. Brian Trash is in the house. Ben Grimm says that he was in elementary school in 1994.
Well,
Oh, Curlyjaw said he wasn't even alive in 1994.
that's disturbing.
He was just a curly jaws. Not an old curly jaws, just a curly jaws.
Ken Carlson might be right on the money here. Prediction for Scream Factory in October. Halloween 6 through 8 in 4K. Creep Show in 4K. And Trick or Treat in 4K.
I think that's a pretty good guess.
Guess what? If they put Trick or Treat 07 out in 4K, I'm not buying it. So
What?
no fucking
That
way.
would
No
be the
way.
only
Why
one
not?
I'd buy.
No way. It just came out like 2 years
Listen,
ago.
that shit don't matter.
I'm not doing
There's
that.
all kinds of Arrow
Hell
puts stuff out like it just comes out all the time. in
Hell
It came
4K.
out like 4 years ago. It's fine.
I ain't getting it. Ain't doing. It's too new of a movie to me to need that upgrade. You know what I mean? Like to me, I like older movies upgraded. To me, that doesn't need. I don't need that.
Have you
I'm
watched?
not gonna do it. I won't
Have
do
you watched Drive yet in 4K?
it. I haven't.
Well, watch that and say if they, yeah, because that shit that blew my fucking mind. That transfer, and because I had the standard Blu-ray of that, the 4K of that. The second it's on, you're like, what in the fuck did they do? So
But
I'm
you know
so
what?
excited.
Well,
for that.
actually, I mean, Trick or
You
Treat
just
might
can't
look
hide.
good because of the scenery and stuff, but I don't know. I just don't. I can't. I feel like I just bought that, and to have to do it again, I'm like, I don't need it.
I'm really looking more
You'll
forward
buy
to
it.
the other Trick or Treat.
Oh, me too.
That
I'd
one's
rather
going to come
take
out
that.
like right around that time too.
I think that announcement's coming any day, boys.
Yeah.
Any day.
But anyway,
Oh, it's my turn now.
listen, we're all hanging on the edge of our fucking seats here, Garrett. Let's
It's your
go.
turn, pal.
All right, my first pick is another Anchor Bay, actually. So Uncle Bill is started off the Anchor Bay train here. And this was another limited edition. You've seen us talk about this on the show before. This is the Sleepaway Camp Red Cross box set, which I think was also limited to about 20,000. And what happened was when they released this in 2002, it was quickly removed from the shelves because the Red Cross didn't really like the fact that they were using this Red Cross logo on the box. And Anchor Bay thought that they had it was public domain, so that's why they used it. And come to find out, the only other person besides Red Cross that's allowed to use this logo is Johnson & Johnson, which is interesting.
No idea.
So they were quickly removed. They had to scrap the Red Cross, put out a new edition, which was very similar. It just said the survival pack on it. And that's what they ended up putting out in stores. So I'm not sure if there's 20,000 of these out there in the wild, or they had to flip and switch the boxes and stuff. But this was very sought after when I was big into collecting. Like, to find this was very hard. And I think this is the only edition that does come with this bonus DVD, the fourth one. So if you guys take a look, I think I'm going to show it already.
Get the
I can
bonus
remember
disc.
I can remember
mean, look
watching that and just being like completely bummed out. The fourth
Yeah, I
disc.
know. That might have been a big disappointment, right? Look at all the crosses all over this. They had to really, I guess, go in there and fix that. But yeah, you got the discs, the Camp Diary, which is cool. He actually's got pictures from the movie, and it looks like a little diary and stuff. It's pretty damn cool in there. Talks a little bit about each movie. And then I like this. The original artworks on this. Always Sleepaway Camp artwork is some of the best, I think. The originals. I love this image. I love this image. I mean, this thing is... I remember seeing this at the video store as a kid and being like, what is this?
I thought it was
Freddy
really cool that they
Jason?
had the white DVD cases, too, at the time. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of people that brought them out in white cases.
I cannot believe I sold that fucking poster. I didn't remember doing that at all until
You son of a bitch.
Whiskey Rock Roller was in there.
The Survivor. So that was the little bonus disc that you got, and I don't think that came in the other one. Right? Yeah, it was a Best Buy exclusive. Yep.
I remember Slippy when we had him on. I think it was one of the last times. So they had got a cease and desist or whatever, but I think that they ended up being able to just sell all the ones that they had, but they couldn't print anymore. Was what it was.
Did they have to put a little sticker on it that said "This is illegal"?
Illegal
edition. This, boss.
I need to get one of those stickers.
Illegal edition.
Illegal release or something.
Yeah.
That's killer. But yeah, I put that in my number one pick just because of how iconic that is to the collecting world, and it was at the time. And Sleepaway Camp is still a fan favorite, and I think that set up a lot of different things, which is cool box set, and the fact that it was so limited just due to the fact that it was taken down, it just really became sought after, I think, for collectors. So
it's still worth for a DVD, you wouldn't think a DVD'd be worth that much, but it is. It's still going for good money. And I like all those movies. Even though like part 3 was getting a little bit too fucking hokey, really, but I still liked it. I come on.
You love Return to Sleepaway Camp, though, I know.
Your ass stinks!
That movie. Oh, God. So
everybody's showing their love for Return to Sleepaway Camp on here, Bulls.
Damn, that movie. If anybody's actually legitimately thinks that movie is killer, I feel bad for you.
Well, they finally made Sleepaway Camp 4 as well, didn't they? Like, that was some other release, too.
Yeah. I have all those DVD releases. Like, someone did come out with the real version of that, it was terrible. Then they had the part 4 that they redid with, like, Melissa and all that stuff, yeah.
Who?
Huh?
Melissa Rose.
Oh.
So, before I do the second one of mine, which would be the last one of mine, earlier today I spent a couple hours going through my fucking DVDs, which, by the way, I'm never ever doing again, so I don't care what we do. I'm never going through my DVDs again.
You found Cry, man.
There is. They're in storage boxes. And it's like, I can't get to anything, and then I have to go through all of the stuff. It's just not worth it. But I pulled out a bunch of stuff. Now, these are never going to be inducted, by the way, in future shows. But I just thought that they were interesting, like, kind of like runner-up style DVD.
Well, be careful, though, because this is an annual one. We can do another one next year.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying these will never be inducted.
Oh, okay. So they're pieces of shit.
Well, they're not pieces of shit, but they're just interesting. So... here is the first Anchor Bay Beyond.
That was rare for a while, that version.
Yeah, I love that, to find. That artwork. That artwork in particular.
And you remember, this was, I think, the version that we first watched. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was the one I first watched.
Yeah, it might have been one of the first Fulci movies that we watched, after City of the Living Dead, probably.
I think so, yeah.
This one brings back so many memories, and you'll know what I mean.
That was a big release too.
When that one came out,
that was worth a pretty penny for quite a while. That DVD.
Mm-hmm. That one was like, for us, probably like one of the biggest releases because we kind of like championed it and had like we knew the people involved pretty well when it was being put out, which was Slippy and Danny Steinman, all that.
BCI Clips. That was another little-known studio that just went belly up out of nowhere, boys. They's gone.
It had a slip cover too, which was unusual for back in the day.
Did that company do Final Exam as well? I think, and they did like.
Stanley. They did, yeah. I've
just
got
did
Final Exam somewhere in there.
Yeah, they did that. Stanley just came out for Vinegar Syndrome. That's a great movie if you guys haven't seen that one. That's a sleeper if anybody is on the fence about getting that.
I have it. It's in a
Oh,
box
great.
somewhere that's waiting to be
Oh.
opened.
Yeah.
Trick or treat, son
Me
of
too.
a bitch.
Hell yeah.
That's
Classic.
the
That's the classic
yeah.
like dollar store
Yep.
like
$5.88 being at Walmart.
They just put like Gene Simmons and like
It's
photos
like
of them on there.
No More Tears era Aussie on the front of it.
And this came from Page 3's Game Zone, boys. Yeah.
That place
found that
is
at
still
Game Zone.
in. Still open.
I didn't remember having this, man. I don't know if there's another Blu-ray version of this. I don't think there is. But this is the
there's not.
Dr.
There isn't.
Giggles,
Yep.
Otis.
It's the only way to get on Blue right now.
I just thought that was interesting.
I completely
Yeah, they-
forgot that was out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, they need to read. Someone needs to put that out. I don't understand what the problem is with Dr. Giggles.
So that's fucking blows my mind. That's the only Blu-ray, and it's on a shitty like. Both movies are on the same disc.
You get
That's
Otis
dog
out of
shit
here.
right there. I hate that now. You don't pull that shit.
There's the Hidden 1 and 2.
Hell
I'm not
yeah.
sure if the Hidden 2 has a release.
Well, the
might.
Hidden has a shitty Warner Brothers archive release.
It does.
That
It needs a
movie
better one.
deserves, fuck. You give fucking Teen Wolf 2 a collector's edition, but you won't give the Hidden a collector's edition?
I mean, I think
Scream
the Hidden,
Factory, fuck you.
the Hidden, I think is like, to me, if Vinegar Syndrome can put out Dead Heat, they can put out the Hidden. You know, like I think it's pretty easily could be done.
That definitely, it deserves a proper release.
And I'm trying to remember when this came out, but this is like one of the first DVDs that I remember like that we watched or watching around this time. This is the Elite
Oh yeah,
DVD
Entertainment.
Maniac, the letterbox edition.
Man, like,
Pretty cool though. It's a cool edition, different.
Maniac was one of those movies. It seemed like there was a new edition of Maniac on DVD every other year.
Did it have a tin as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. if
it
I
had
have
one of
the tin.
those. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
Anchor
anyway.
Bay released it. Elite released it. Blue Underground released it about 15 times.
Yep. Then they did
I
like
mean, I love the movie and everything.
two
but God-
Blu-rays, 2 4Ks. Yeah, they keep going with that one.
Yeah.
I thought that was just interesting shit like that I found out there.
Oh,
Well, you need to get with the net stalker dude so he can help you build shelves there, Uncle Bill.
Yeah, man, for
Buy
sure.
some nice pieces of oak.
how's the edition coming along?
Oh, it's good. It's fine. Yeah, I just knocked out a couple walls, and I'm starting the drywall process.
You stock it up on duct tape.
Yeah,
I think what you should have did, bro, is next time you go to your DVD area, you should film it and do like a little like tour. Just see that would be so killer. I'd love
I
to
wish-
see, how
See
it's
what
all,
the
like-
hell's in this.
Yeah, I'd love to see how it's organized and stuff.
I wish you could have seen like me going through. It's those giant totes, just plastic totes, like stacked on top of each other. And I was like trying to go through them. I was like, fuck, it just takes forever to like do any of that. But anyway, I don't even like in the process of doing that. The reason why I brought that up is because I was trying to find one specific edition of a movie that we were going to talk about, which I never could find, which is out there somewhere, and I don't know where. But so my second pick would be the Dawn of the Dead Ultimate Edition, which Gary's going to have to show you because I could never find it.
You might have sold it too.
I swear I didn't sell that though. Okay, so
Anchor Bay, man, they're burning they've got half of the awards so far.
Oh yeah.
And they're out of bidding.
rewind. This would have been 2004. Is that right?
Good question, man.
I'm thinking it would have been in 2004.
2004, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because we were at the Horrifying convention, and it was right before it came out.
Yeah. So I'm betting that this dropped sometime around Halloween in 2004. And like this was to me this was the biggest release. It still is. Like it's still to me like the biggest thing that was ever put out by any of these companies. It would probably be like if there's like a Michael Jordan in the Hall of Fame, this would be like my Michael Jordan because for the first time, the big gimmick with this edition was, for the first time, you had all 3 releases of Dawn of the Dead that had never been put together like this before. And to my knowledge, like the European cut, the Argento cut, had never had any like edition whatsoever before this. So you had the theatrical edition, you had the extended edition, and you had the European Argento edition. And that shit right there, yeah, like when you opened it up, like that's one of the most badass
Yep.
spreads ever.
Isn't it funny how like nobody does packaging like that anymore?
Look at that, dude. Like opening that up, like how sick was that at the time?
It still is. I mean, like I said, Anchor Bay could do shit like that because their releases were pretty much everywhere. Aside from, I mean, some of them were even in Walmart, around Halloween or whatever. So limited edition Anchor Bay was 50,000 versus, Vinegar Syndrome's limited edition was 6,000. So this shit was everywhere.
It was crazy though, because we went to that convention. We went to the Horrifying convention when that was like the big thing that they were promoting. And so it was like everywhere, posters and freaking, flyers and handouts and things like that. And all of that was all over the place at that point in time. And because it was a huge deal, like it was probably bigger than like the Evil Dead editions and stuff like that. Like I said, none of that stuff had ever been out before. And, the theatrical edition is still my favorite. I don't know why. It's just the one that I've watched the most. But people really were curious to know, like, what the hell the Argento cut was going to be like. And spoiler, but it kind of sucks. But, the extended edition was like 2.5 hours long. It was like 20-some minutes longer than the regular edition. And not to mention the fact, like, if you get past, like, all of the editions and stuff on there, then there was, like, a whole other disc of, like, special features, which, at that time, the extras on that were probably, like, right up there with the biggest editions of other movies, too. There was new commentaries. It was
documentaries.
Documentaries, yeah. A 80 or 90 minute documentary with interviews for almost everybody that was in the cast, I think, at that time. And I watched that again recently, that documentary, and it wasn't as good as you'd think it would be. Like, just nobody really gave any, like, good information about the film. Like, everybody seemed like really kind of, I don't know, just stuff that you already knew or just, like, basic kind of stuff. But still yet, I mean, they put all that stuff together in one disc, and that was, or in one set, and that was amazing for the time.
Yeah, so it was so, you just don't see that anymore in the sense that there's a movie with that many versions of the same film. So to get it all kind of lumped together was unreal. And I remember there was a point in time where, like, you could get it relatively cheap, like well after it was already out for a long time. Like, there was still some floating around, and I can remember seeing them maybe at, like, even FYE, like, on sale, for cheap. I got mine the day it came out at, I don't know if you guys had this store around you, Strawberries. Did anybody out there have that? It was like a record store, like sold movies and CDs and stuff, but that's what it was called around us, which then I think turned into FYE like later down the road. But yeah, man, my uncle and I were like waiting the first day, like, to pick this thing up. Mind blowing to open.
Well, I think a lot of the prior releases were long out of print, so if you didn't have those, it was 97 and 99. I think they did separate editions there.
Do you remember though, man? Like, this is a memory that's like one of those core memories that's etched into my head forever. Like, when we went to that show into Horrifying, you went down the escalator, right, to get into a section, and there was like a fucking poster on like an art easel of that release, like a picture of like an ad of that release as you came down. And
I remember they were playing the special features on a TV too down there. I think.
Yeah, which is something they did a lot too, like at shows. They may still do it, but like Hatchet had like a demo reel that was playing on TVs and stuff when it first came out, and then I remember that one did too.
Like, how killer would it be if you went on eBay and searched like Dawn of the Dead Ultimate Edition poster, and like you found that poster that you went down the stairs and saw for the first time? That'd be so sick.
Yeah. I mean,
There's probably
So-
only a couple of them made.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals. Yeah, but those Anchor Bay releases at the time, like, they hyped that thing up like crazy. People were like going insane. And I think, what was it? It was around probably what, $40 that set was when it came out.
I'm gonna say, I mean, yeah.
Hold on, I might
think
be able
so.
to. I might be able to tell you. Hold on.
And I'm thinking maybe definitely, yeah, probably $40. What I'm saying.
Let's see. No, they didn't have not in this.
The MSRP.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is people don't really realize, though, back then, this was pre-streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to have the disc. If you couldn't find the discs, you could watch a VHS tape, I guess, if you really wanted to watch the movie. But Dawn of the Dead was one of those movies that would never be on TV. It was never on TV, hardly. I think IFC may have played it every once in a blue moon. But that was it. That was the only time I think I ever remember seeing it on TV.
Is it crazy to you guys? And I know we've talked about this before. Is that like time does not feel like as long as it is when you think about this stuff? Like I can literally remember getting this for the first time and opening it, and to think that was 2004. Number one is insanity to me, and number two, thinking that, let's say that thing was $40 at the time. That was big money for a movie set. You know, you're buying DVDs for what, like brand new for like $10.99, $12.99, where now we're buying $40 DVDs for one movie.
Yeah.
And to think what you were getting that for $40 here, like this would be $100 set now. I mean, how much was the Dawn from Second Sight? It had to have been what, $100 bucks?
God. Yeah, it was. How much
over
was that? It was over
$100,
$100. Yeah.
So that's what's even crazier to me. Like to me, like 2004 doesn't seem so long ago, but it's that long ago where like think about how money has changed so much from that period of
18
time.
years ago.
18 years, man.
And that goes back to what I was saying before, like when us getting into this stuff, and obviously it has to do with us being a little bit older than maybe other people that are watching this, but getting into this stuff at a certain age, like we were able to get a lot of stuff for nothing. Like, man, I could go to used DVD stores back then and pick up, like, I could leave with 20 DVDs and spend maybe like $30. Like I was getting used DVDs for like $1.99. Like, you know, it was so much you could get back then for nothing. And to think about it now, it's like we go on these Vinegar Syndrome things. I don't think I'd ever hauled a $200 haul in my life back in the day when I used to go out and just buy like boatloads of stuff on a Tuesday. I don't think I ever hit $200, right? And now
You could have went in Suncoast Video and
they were always a little
they were
pricey.
higher,
they're kind of expensive, yeah.
The guys who run Vinegar Syndrome must have ran that store back then. That's why
But
they were getting us ready for what was to come.
Rambo
Go
was
ahead.
asking real quick on here before I forget, if any of us have been to the Monroeville Mall, the Dawn of the Dead Mall. I think you have, haven't you, Uncle Bill?
Yes. The weird thing about that trip too was that like I really expected that to be like the centerpiece, the best part. The mall really doesn't look anything at all like. I mean, and I guess it wouldn't 40 years later, however long it was, but as it did in the movie. There's a couple of things that look the same. The escalators are basically in the same spot and they look mostly the same. There's like a placard, like when you first walk in, that says, you know, about the movie and Romero and all that stuff. It's like a little thing with his face on it and everything. And then like some of the behind the stores, you can tell like that's the same as where they would go, you know, in the back parts when they're running around trying to get back to their little man cave or whatever. Those still look basically the same. But other than those things, and like you can tell the parking lot is still the same in that way, but there's not a lot that reminds you that that's the same mall anymore. It's been like redone probably 3 or 4 times by then.
Captain Horror is in here. He says he's super late, but he made it. He just passed a kidney stone tonight.
What the heck's with you, with you Dead Pit guys? Talk to Phantasm Matt over there. Guys, every time we do a stream, someone's passing stones over here. I'm glad you're okay.
True.
I'm glad you're okay, brother. Thank you for
Yeah.
stopping in. I can't imagine what that must feel like. So
Well, I can. I've never had a
you-
kidney stone, but I can
I
tell
know.
you, yeah,
Not
it's
good.
no, it's not good.
No.
Not good.
So, yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in and checking us out live. We're up to 92 people watching. Thumbs up the video, tickle it, fondle it, titty fuck that like button, boy.
How'd it go again? Real quick. How are you supposed to do?
Just fondle it a little bit.
Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway, no, but going back to his question about the mall, I have never been, but we have been talking about doing a big meetup. The problem is that every time we want to try to do it, gas just keeps going up and up and up. So it might be a
Costs
while, but
$2,000.
I mean, I'm still willing to do this whenever we can figure it out. Is head down that way, go to the drive-in, and then hit up that mall together. I think that would be killer. I've never been down that far. Never seen the mall, so I think it would be awesome, man.
The really cool part about that area, because it's only about 15-20 minutes away from the Evans City and the cemetery. Now that is something to fucking do, because it's a cemetery. It didn't change at all. Like, it looks exactly the same as like from the movie. And then like you can find the farmhouse and everything like that, and like go down and
That's
kinda
all
look at
around the
that.
same area
It's
there?
all around the same area. Yeah, it's all within like a 15
Alright,
or
we're
20
doing it.
minute like radius. And there's shit from the crazies. Like there's all of that stuff is around that same part.
so I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw this out there because we have talked to I think Mark over at the Mahoning Drive-In. We've talked about it already. So and that's the same. That's within a couple of hours of Pittsburgh and Evans City and all that. Is there anybody in the chat that would be interested in like a meetup or something like that? Cause
You know, we're going to call it the Dead Pit Retreat. That's what it's
yeah, because yeah, we have never met Garrett ever. So yeah, I think that we need to do that at some point. Hopefully, the fucking gas prices will go down and not up more. But
I don't think it's gonna happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys in the chat are all willing, if anybody's willing to take that trip, let us know. And, you know, obviously the more people I think that are interested, I think the more we can try to make it happen. So,
Hey, did you know Barnabas Collins is in here though?
he is?
Yeah, and he
Oh, I see him
fondled
right
the
there. Barnabas.
he fondled the like button for us.
All right.
fondle that like button.
Heck yeah.
Melanie said that she would be into going.
All right.
There's a lot of people on here that are talking about, like, Matt lives in Pittsburgh.
Yep, so that'll work for
Phantasm
him.
Matt, that is. And then the other Matt,
Joe Jack said that when CK tells me to, you know what I said. I'm not going to say it again because Garrett, he was blushing. There a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
get a little
But he
red.
did it. He listened.
Thank you.
he goes all,
All right. So here we go. The last pick number 2 for me. And this was another very important one. I thought long and hard about this one. This was the first one that popped up into my head because 1999 was the year, Uncle Bill. DVDs were still in their infancy. And box sets really didn't exist. There weren't very many of them. There were very few of them, actually. And the good folks over at New Line Cinema released, this was like high dollar shit in 1999. And still to this day, there's never been a better set come out of these movies. I don't know why.
Definitely.
I don't know what in the hell their problem is. But in 1999, they were all about doing a box set of the Nightmare on Elm Street, the New Line Platinum series, boy.
Look at that. Embossed
yeah.
Freddy. There was 3D glasses in there. This thing was stacked.
Look at that, man.
That's like one of the coolest spines too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So had still to this day all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I mean, Freddy versus Jason wasn't on there, but who cares? So I did not get this initially. The one that I got was, and we'll go ahead and talk about both, was the VHS box set. I didn't have DVD in '99. I think I got my first DVD player in the summer of 2000.
Yeah.
But yeah, the VHS set was pretty much the same content, not as much extras or anything like that, and the films were not in widescreen. But other than that, it's pretty much the same content. Different box. I think that one had a cooler box. What do you guys think?
What, the VHS?
The VHS.
I never owned the VHS box. That was the one with him, like, with the arms out, right? On the spine. Or you could see all the different images. The VHS ones I have, I kept them. Are the old ones where it's just, like, individual VHS tapes. So I didn't have that, but I don't know what the outer shell looked like on that one.
It was a little bit more colorful. I think it was like a reddish pink color, a lot of it was, and it was like burnt flesh and stuff like that.
Okay. But it was definitely a cool addition, no doubt, that VHS tape set. And like you said, I didn't get that box until after...
Yeah, pretty baby.
Yeah, I had it, but I mean, I have it, but I didn't get it when it first was released because I didn't have a DVD player at that point. I got one late 99.
This was the release date September the 21st, 1999. How crazy is that? Show you some of the stuff that's included in it. You had a nice booklet that talked about each of the movies. 1999, boys. They went to this length and just never fucked with these movies ever again, really. And like Garrett mentioned, this was the very first 3D DVD, and it included 3D glasses of Freddy's dead.
Oh, yeah.
One downside, which at the time nobody cared because it is what it is, but they were in these snapper cases.
Yeah.
Which everybody hated those.
I am not a Snapper fan, but for Elm Street, I can do it.
All of the Warner Brother releases were in the snapper cases at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this one I think was very important too because the box set I don't think really exists in DVDs in this form before. This was like the first that I can think of with this many movies and all special features and a bonus disc of all extras. But for, I mean, still to this day, really, this set has not been topped. We're talking about, what is it,
2022, yeah.
Yeah, 22 years later, 23 years later.
It's crazy. You're right. It's still, in my opinion, the best set overall that you can get for that franchise. Just as far as the way it looks and everything. Sadly, it's crazy that that's to be said.
I think the biggest disappointment though is like that's the DVD set, right?
Yeah.
And then the fucking Blu-ray set is one of the biggest pieces of trash.
It's just in like a regular sized Blu-ray case.
You can get it for like $20, like, and it's just so underwhelming after all that. Like, and yeah, somebody mentioned that right now they're working on, the 4K set, but how long has it been, like, in between all that? If they could have had a decent Blu-ray set.
Yeah, a lot of people commenting on this one, and I think a lot of people own this one. Interesting thing, though, too, man. This set, when it came out, was $129.99 in 1999.
What was it?
$129.
Wow. I wonder why I didn't have it right away.
And this was a part of this was one of the very first in that New Line Platinum series, which was kind of the very first, I don't know if you want to call it luxury line of movies, which would have more extras and all that. But, yeah, I mean, this was like I said, this was like one of the top tier releases any genre at the time. For for years and years and years though, and still for Nightmare on Elm Street. But oddly enough, now you can pick this DVD set up for $25-$30. That VHS set is going for almost $100. And back in the day, it would have been the exact opposite of that. You're thinking, right? So that's kind of weird. I do wish I still had the VHS set, but I sold that a long time ago. But yeah, I actually watched part 4 again. Some of it at least, to check out the video quality. And it doesn't, I mean, it looks pretty good considering it was released 23 years ago.
Yeah, you got to ask Slippy if they're doing the same features on the new one. Are they just going to rip them right from that?
I just love the fact of torturing that guy because you know he's doing something with that, but he will never admit it. So he's like, I'm not working on that. No. You know, right now he's at his computer like, oh,
Boys, they shut the fuck up.
Be careful if he's listening to this. He's like, God damn it. Shut your mouth.
That set did not come with pins. No. Maybe the new one will, though. The snapper cases. Hey, Jamie, the snapper cases did break. They broke.
Yeah, I hated them. First snapper case I got was Exorcist.
What I hated the most about those fucking snapper cases is if you had a regular DVD case and you tried to put it beside of it,
Like
the shelf.
stuck.
No. And usually that's how it'd break.
Yeah.
Get the fuck in there.
And then it would snap the thing off because it'd keep hitting that little piece. Yeah. So like all my snapper cases that I have left are all by themselves, like in the bottom corner, like just stacked next to each other.
Holiday Style says, my ex has the Nightmare on Elm Street DVD box set. Bitch won't return it. Well, you could get another one fairly cheap if you wanted to get it. But, yeah, I mean, I'm always amazed at some of these titles, like how long ago they were made. And just, it was really loaded for special features then. There were a few that were kind of curious around the time that were out too, which we may talk about those on a future, we're going to maybe do this again next year.
Goddamn, boys. Did another stream let out or something? All of a sudden, we've got like an influx of people.
Yeah, come on in, boys.
Tell us who was streaming. Who was streaming out there? Yeah, thumbs up.
Wasn't Joe Bob on the night too?
That's right. We don't need to do shit on Fridays, man. Like,
It's my fault.
it's always because Joe Bob is always like kicking our ass.
I agree. I would love to see somebody else's side. Maybe surprise us a little bit. Vinegar Syndrome does the Nightmare on Elm Street box set, boys. Now,
it'd be $500. Like, you wouldn't be able to.
We'd pay it.
But with Scream Factory, you know it's going to be like, you know, at least $300-$400. They're going to have like a pin set of all the different Freddy's. They'll probably like have hats, like all the different hats or something. They'll have a glove that's made out of plastic.
I mean, the only reason I really care for Elm Street to be with Scream Factory is just because I think that they should. I just think it would look nice if it was similar to the Friday set. I just think aesthetically to have both of them in a similar tone would be pretty cool. You know, the design and maybe have some kind of like similar artwork and stuff. I think that would just be just nice aesthetically.
What about Arrow Video?
I think they do a hell of a job, but like I said, I think the one thing I can say about Scream Factory is when they do those big collections, they're really nice. The way that they do them all.
Listen, Garrett, we don't say anything good about Scream Factory in here.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
We're gonna move on to the last inductee right now. Speaking of which, and again, this was a little bit of a tough one for me to choose, but I think when we kind of talk a little bit about it, it was a pretty important release, and that is the first Halloween 3 Blu-ray.
Put Scream Factory over.
No!
Putting them over because the first two that were announced from Scream Factory and released was part 2 and 3 of Halloween. That was the first two when Scream Factory was debuting, and it was cool to get both, but Halloween 2 had already had a Blu-ray at that point. this was the first time ever Halloween 3 had any kind of like special treatment. It was always kind of considered like the redheaded stepchild of that franchise. This was the first time it really got a lot of love. And I think that's when people really started to come around to Halloween 3 than always just calling it the Halloween without Michael Myers. And the reason I think it's so important, as fans, we were going nuts over the idea of this company coming out and putting out some of our favorite horror movies on Blu-ray. And little did we know was that I think this company was really the start of what we're seeing now with boutique labels. Like, this was the first, which I think is just a huge thing for horror collecting now. So that's why I put this on there, and you got a poster with it. You know, it's loaded with features. You know, it came with the slip at the time. It was just a great addition. And it was for a movie that I think needed that extra love that wasn't really getting it on any of the releases it had prior. And I just think that was just a big time for the future of collecting and what we're doing now with all these boutique labels. Like, this to me really kickstarted that whole, you know, I don't even want to say genre or style of collecting or whatever, but so to me, I think we didn't do any Blu-rays or anything tonight, so I had to throw one in there just to change it up. And I think that one, to me, is one that deserves to be recognized.
It's weird, though, because there was a time period for, like, decades where that movie, like, the only thing anybody ever said about that movie was, oh, they said Michael Myers was going to be in it and he wasn't in it.
Yep.
It fucking sucks.
That's
So
exactly the truth.
that went on for like decades. And something happened around, to me it was like around 2007, 2008, something like that. Like around that time period where I guess more people... What is it? Jesus.
Brian Goes Blue made me
my
pop
God.
there, boss. They are. They're awful shiny, too. They must have just been cleaned.
Oh, God.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, something happened around 2000, around that, the early 2000s. I don't know what it was, but more people started to watch that movie and, like, seriously started to put it over. And maybe it was, like, because they discovered Night of the Creeps and Tom Atkins. I don't know what it was exactly. But, like, it started to get, like, a reputation and a better reputation.
Man, something else, too. And I want
More
to get into
anal
this.
beads?
Yeah, we'll talk about anal beads some more. But Friday the 13th Part 5 was the same fucking way, Uncle Bill. Let me
That's
tell
true.
you this. Because that archive is up on DEADPIT on Patreon.com. In 2006, 2007, 2008, probably all the way up to like 2010, 2011, we were the only motherfuckers defending that movie.
Are you going to start shooting on people right now real quick?
He probably will.
Sure,
All
I'm
right,
getting
go ahead.
I'm getting
Go
plumb fired up, babe. I'm going to take his jacket off.
All right,
and
just stop
get-
throwing shots. Go.
But yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Friday the 13th, Part 5 was the same fucking way. These goddamn idiots were like, oh, it ain't Jason. It's a
People
motherfucker.
still say that, too.
It's a fucking guy in a hockey mask. Goddamn. It's never Jason. It's a fucking...
I love that idea, though. That somehow or another, like, because the one scene in the end of the movie is like, it's not Jason, everybody's like, it ruined that movie.
It ain't Jason. It's Roy. He's an asshole.
I mean, did it ruin anything? Really, though? It's the same exact movie. I mean, it's the same type of movie as all the rest of them.
yeah, except it's got better characters in it. The death scenes in it are killer. It's sleazy as fuck. Demon is in it.
We've been down this road, though, a million times. But you're right, though. That's another movie that around that same time had the same type of, like, reputation.
And we were the only... I'm not kidding. We were the only people defending that movie then. Nobody else. And now everybody fucking loves it.
Oh, somebody mentioned, Jake mentioned Nightmare on Elm Street 2. That's another one where it was like, for the longest time, everybody shit on that movie. And then it started to get like a following. It got a following, I think, really just because of how fucking goofy it was. Like, and the whole thing with the dance scenes and stuff like that. More than anything else.
Oh, Curly Jaws don't like Part 4.
It's going on the worst list.
He's
of all
cutting
time,
a
I think.
promo. But that release, though, Garrett, there's a couple things I remember about that time period, too, because Universal, the Halloween 3 They did their Halloween 3 Blu-ray the same exact year that
Did
Scream
they do
Factory.
did they do a Blu-ray?
Yeah.
What did it look like? I only remember part 2.
I think it was just the generic pumpkin, the silver pumpkin looking thing I think that was on it. But they did Blu-rays of 2 and 3 the exact same year, or a couple of months before Scream Factory came out with theirs, because Felcher, this was back when Felcher would tell us shit. We were at a convention eating somewhere or something like that, and he was talking about, it was Shout Factory. At the time, Scream Factory didn't exist. Mm-hmm. He was like, Shout Factory is coming out with this boutique line of just horror movies, and they're putting a lot of money into this shit. There's going to be extras. We got Sean Clark filming stuff, the Horrors Hallowed Grounds. And we were like, what? Holy shit, we're going to have to rebuy this shit? Because never in a million years around that time frame would you think that anybody would have done special edition extras and shit for Halloween 3.
No, not at all. Not even close. Yeah. So that was just a big thing at the time, and I think it really just bumped everybody that even this would have a collector's edition, because it wasn't something that people, I felt like, gave a lot of credit to at that time.
Mom.
Sorry, I'm reading the comments.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So yeah, I mean that's our 6.
Scream Factory's going to get on here, and we're going to get Cliff and Jeff on here, and they're going to give an acceptance speech. That's going to happen.
God.
Well, I'd like to thank you all. Fuck you too.
That guy probably would be like, hey, aren't these them assholes that told us they're going to shit in a box? Yeah.
And now they're giving us an award.
That will never die, probably.
But yeah, that's the initial 6. I mean, we can go through them again real quick while we're on here for anybody that's missed out. The ones that I picked was the Criterion 2-disc edition Laserdisc from 1994, and the Nightmare on Elm Street box set from 1999, baby.
And I picked the Phantasm Sphere collection. Oh. This is the Region 2 one from 2000. Son of a 5? Yeah. And down here. It's down here.
It's Dawn of the Dead.
And Ultimate
Down
Edition.
down here. And then I brought the Sleepaway Camp Red Cross edition from Anchor Bay, and Halloween 3 from Scream Factory. So it looks like Anchor Bay really took it this time, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, when it comes to special editions of things, for the longest time, like, they were really the only one doing that. Like, the earlier stuff that's going to be classic is going to be by them, I think. And maybe Criterion, yeah.
Phantasmat has an interesting question here. Do you think Criterion was the original boutique label? Some people hate on them now for their pricing, but you can't deny that they have some stellar titles in their catalog.
I mean, personally, I don't really care about Criterion all that much. If it's a title I want, I'll get it, but I'm not like, oh, Criterion did it, I'm going to get it, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff from Criterion I was buying that I was like, why am I buying this? It wasn't really that great. So, but I agree. I think they were the first kind of out there label, in my opinion, that I guess you consider a boutique label, that were grabbing titles that no one else was and doing a lot to them. But, you know, I'm not a really
trivia
big Criterion
question
guy,
for
but
you.
it's good.
And anybody in the chat, because I was looking this shit up today. What year and what title did Criterion first release on Laserdisc?
Terminator 2? What was it?
You're not going to believe this, guys. The year was 1984.
What?
And the movie was Citizen Kane.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, they're definitely the first boutique label. I don't have a lot of Criterion movies, but they've got some bona fide fucking classics, man. You can't fucking deny that shit.
That's true, but they've also got a lot of shit that's like fucking flower petals in the wind.
Yeah,
or
like
something like that.
too
Like,
artsy stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
That's the one thing I hate about Criterion is like for every one good title, you'll have 15 titles where it's like sand in the hourglass.
It's true because I feel like it was kind of like Vinegar Syndrome in a way because I was buying a lot of things just because of Criterion back in the day, and I felt like I was getting burned so much. I was like, oh, like unless I know it, I'm not gonna bother with it.
There's a couple of really good ones though that I got from. It's an old black and white movie called The Uninvited. That's really fucking spooky.
I have that one there. Yeah,
I really like that one, like a haunted house movie. And you know they've released some classics. I've got the Badlands with Sissy Spacek and Martin Sheen. I love that movie. I don't have a whole lot of Criterion releases though, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I think like I've got Videodrome.
that's a great release.
I've got Night of the Living Dead.
I got it, yeah.
I've got
Breakfast Club.
I don't have the Breakfast Club. Although is that on Criterion?
Yeah,
That'd be an awesome release.
Fast Times.
I don't have Fast Times. What the fuck are the other ones? Oh, Scanners. I've got the Scanners.
Repo Man, they got a Repo Man Criterion.
And there's a couple more I can't think of. I don't have that many. Probably 5 to 6, I'd say.
I got the Godzilla one too. That one's fucking not the big box set the big book thing. The old one that has the pop up of Godzilla when you open it up. It's pretty killer.
Yeah. Rosemary's Baby. Yep, that's another one.
Yeah, Phantasm Matt, he says, I would not recommend blind buying Criterions, but if you know what you want, they have some awesome editions for sure.
What I see, I saw it up here.
This fucking StreamYard needs to fix this fucking chat. God.
Why? What's the matter with it?
It keeps skipping. Like, I don't know. I lose my spot
Whenever I'm
on it.
whenever I'm trying to like read the stuff, like, and then it'll just like go up or something, and then you can't figure out like where your last spot
I want to
was.
send a complaint into them assholes.
Their
Ray
chat
Milland is in that. Yeah, the Uninvited. I may rewatch that this Halloween. That's a pretty cool one.
Stuntman Mark, I would love to get the Silence of the Lambs one. I probably will get that one eventually. The Criterion.
Criterion's released a lot of David Lynch stuff.
Yeah. Naked Lunch and all that stuff, yeah.
Right. Pablo says Criterion is too artsy fartsy.
Oh, actually, you know what, Uncle Billy? You know what they did? They did The Brood for Criterion did.
They
Blu-ray.
did, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of Cronenberg stuff in there. I don't know. They seem to be pretty Cronenberg heavy.
Criterion's got a sale that's coming up next month, a half off sale. So if anybody's got any recommendations for some horror stuff or whatever, throw them out there. I mean, I may, I don't have that many Criterion, so I may look into it and watch some trailers and all that good stuff, because I definitely don't want to give Scream Factory any money. I might give Criterion some money.
Lepke says he's looking for flower petals in the wind and sand in the hourglass, but he can't find it.
Would you guys be down for doing a Citizen Kane watch along?
I don't. You know what? I don't think I've ever even seen it.
Big T, I showed it a while ago, but you must not have been in here.
Yeah.
Not the best way, but
No. I'm fixing to probably buy a couple of things from that Kino sale. Because some of that
I'll
stuff,
do that.
man, it's like $7.99, $8.99. Come on. How you not going to buy it?
I'll do it tonight. I'll buy
I've
it.
got I could find like $50-some worth of shit. Like, I want to get that Tough Turf.
Yeah.
And if it sucks, Garrett, I'm taking it out on you. It better
Dude,
be good.
Tough Turf is fantastic. You never seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh man, it's a great movie. Great. Could be like a top 10 for me.
Criterion did the Silence of the Lambs. They've got a Silence of the Lambs Blu-ray out. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they do. Yep.
Raging Bull 4K is coming from Criterion. I bet that would look fucking killer, actually. Matt don't like Raging Bull. De Palma. So yeah, if anybody's got any questions or anything, I guess we can stick around here. We ended the induction ceremony a little bit early.
So this
I'm
is kind of like
curious-
the post party.
I'm curious too, like what other people's picks would have been, like if they had their own picks to go in.
Yeah, what do you guys think of this first 6? And would you have changed anything? Would you have added in? Again, like we said, this is only the first class. We want to plan on doing a couple more of these, so we have definitely a bunch that we didn't pick that were in our list. So let us know if there's anything that you think we should consider next time. We're going through our lists.
Yeah, I'll look into the Silence of the Lambs criterion. I think I already have like an MGM Blu-ray of that. Deadpan After Dark. Rumblefish. I've never seen that one.
Oh, I have that on DVD. I think that's got has that got Matt Dillon in it, I think?
It should. Matt Dillon's in everything. Jake Cortenhouse, what boutique label is most likely to release Mikhail Sobolov's Symmetry Man?
Sorry, man. I don't know. Part of me feels like maybe. Do you think Synapse would be able to get that?
Yeah, I was thinking that or Blue Underground would be one of the ones that would release that.
Blue on
What about Arrow?
You say what about Arrow about every goddamn thing?
Well, that's Arrow.
about it?
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, they release a lot of the Italian stuff.
They can't release everything, buddy.
I have the Blob Criterion as well, by the way. That one looks freaking killer.
Yeah.
I've got that one. Do you think the new Ghostbusters box would be in the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame?
I mean, I honest to God, I don't even have it, but just by looking at it, I think it would probably be like one of the ones.
Yeah, it's a great release, man. It's definitely the best release that they've ever done for that movie, no doubt.
What about the Universal Monster set, the big Legacy set that Universal released that had the little statues in it?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I still have that one. It's up
Me
there.
too.
It's on the top of the shelf, baby. Kino 4K of Silence of the Lambs is good. So Kino has a 4K of Silence of the Lambs out too?
Yeah.
Damn, boy.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yep.
It's
I think
pretty
I was
cheap,
thinking
too.
when they said that about Criterion, I was like, what was I remember why, I'm trying to think why I didn't get that. Or there was one I didn't get. I have one of them and I don't have the other, but just those two.
You know, one that I was thinking about that I don't think it's out in 4K yet is Seven from '95, the David Fincher movie. That would look fucking killer in 4K, brother.
Nobody's done 7 yet?
No, I don't think so. It's
It only has that Blu-ray, like like I have it on Blue, but I think it might just be like a regular release, right?
Yeah, it's just I think I've got like a Blu-ray. You remember when they did those Blu-ray books? I think I've got that version on Blu-ray.
You do 7 book. Oh, maybe.
I think so.
It's hard to keep up now. But now it's saying Videodrome is on its way out in 4K. I don't know if it's a Criterion or if somebody else is getting their hands on it. I keep hearing Arrow is probably the ones doing it, which would be great.
The Blob, Jamie,
It's the
is
original.
the original, yeah.
Yeah.
I lost my spot again, boys. I'm fucking sending them an email tonight.
Oh, somebody who's that Mel. Oh yeah, I need that Toulon trunk. I want that thing.
You know what they
I'm
could
mad
put?
I didn't get that.
What they could put that would be really helpful is if you had a way to like mark a post, like it had a little star or something beside of it that you could click on or something like that.
Well, you
where
can, but you have to go back up and then find it again. It's not very convenient. Like, and you need to be able to just maybe like drag the comments to a separate little column to keep them, you know? This is one I was looking for. The Dead Pit movie, that shitty one that Brett Leonard did in 1989, that one's on the Kino sale with the slip.
Flip.
S'mores and Doors is in here, boys. Blowout
Hey.
from Brian De Palma's a great Criterion, he says. Matt, it might be Friday, but I do have to work tomorrow, brother.
Oh, you do?
We are doing a watch along for what we got there. Cry.
He's gonna send that to Curly Jaws.
Oh God!
He probably should send it to Curly
He's
Jaws.
gonna kill you.
He'd review it.
He's gonna
I bet Curly Jaws
flat
is gonna
out
put,
murder your ass.
he's gonna put that in his top 10 favorites.
That would be in his top 10 for sure, yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the plan, right? Next Thursday night.
Yeah, we're doing watch along for Eating
Toby
Alive. Yeah, Toby Hooper's Eating Alive, as requested by our buddy Dirk. That was the one that he requested. I've been wanting to revisit that movie for a while anyway. It's been many years since I've seen it.
So let me ask you all this. Another one I found while I was looking up shit. Do you remember this? Everybody's talking about Thriller now,
yeah.
but this was
That was the
Yeah.
jam. It's signed too?
Yeah, it's signed by Christina
Yeah.
Lindbergh.
I think me and you both have that.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, that was the one I have on DVD as well.
Sent
You
out
know,
back
they're-
in the day, boys.
I don't
It was
really remember Cemetery Man even being that great. Do you?
It was pretty good, I thought.
It's okay, but everybody always goes on about it. Shit, it ain't that good.
Puppet Master, you was talking about the Toulon's trunk.
Yeah, I want that. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that to get re-released on sale because I missed that sale and I'm kind of annoyed that I did.
I
Like I
wouldn't-
have a bunch on Blu-ray already in a nice trunk, but I think I just want to
Ghoul
get everything.
School. Somebody said Ghoul School needs a 4K. I remember that movie.
I do too. I remember that too.
The thing about buying anything though from Full Moon is like the Blu-rays are going to look really bad. They're not going to look. I mean the transfers on some of this shit is like pretty horrible. isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you this. Jesus, what's going on? ASMR over there?
He's popping some popcorn.
He's gonna start his. It's gonna be a new channel where he just like unboxes like in the front of the mic. Like collectors like sit back and like relax. He's on bubble.
I just do this shit like throughout.
Yeah.
God.
Collectors are like, this guy's awesome.
You could pop bubble wrap for like hours on live on the stream.
You're listening to Uncle Bill's Bubble Wrap Hour. Check out your Blue Underground discs and Anchor Bay editions now. Oh! People actually get off on that shit for real.
But I will say this, and I don't have a lot of Full Moon Blu-rays, but man, that Tourist Trap compared to the DVD was unreal. Like I never cared about that movie before because the DVD was so bad that like it was dark. This movie sucks. Couldn't see it.
Yep.
But when I got the Blu-ray to give it another chance, I was like, wow, I love this movie, and if that never happened, I would have probably never given it another chance. So I don't know if all their stuff looks that good, but man, I'm telling you, that was night and day.
How much would the 39 movie Ingmar Bergman box set be from Criterion? Jesus Christ. And all that shit's in fucking like,
Oh, Lord.
what is he, German or something? French?
I don't know.
So you have to read all that shit. That'd be a nightmare for every one of us. We don't like to read.
Yeah, a little Chuck
Oh,
Connors.
Chuck
thing.
Connors figure.
Yeah, it comes with it. Yeah. You want?
Yeah.
You should get that and have the Dick Demon with like little Chuck Connors next to it. Have like a nice little display.
Lots of cool stuff on the horizon. The second sight hits your 4K. Hopefully that's going to be this year. I'm sure, Aliens look killer in 4K as well. So, box set's $120. That's not bad for 39 movies.
No, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, especially Criterion, because their shit's normally that high anyway. 3 on a Meat Hook needs a 4K. Well, that's possible.
My uncle likes that one.
Yeah, that hits your 4K. If it's done right, man, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it right. That could possibly be the release of the year for me, because I don't know what the hell HBO's problem is, but that one release that's just a bare bones snapper DVD from 1999 and nothing else ever here in the U.S.
My Pet Monster live action 4K. I wish. I have a bootleg of that thing.
Shit.
I love that.
The problem, yeah, I'm interested in that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4K to see if they did anything else to the transfer on it. I only think like you can only go so far with a 16mm movie.
Man, Texas Chainsaw is just, yeah. It's one of those movies though. It's like, it's so good every single time you watch it. I don't know what it is. It's something about that movie that just feels so different than anything else. I don't know what it is. It's you watch it and it still just gives you this weird feeling. It's.
There's one of my coworkers asked me just out of the blue, like yesterday, which Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie should I watch? And I said, there's only one. There ain't no question.
You need to watch the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning. Right.
Wouldn't
Because
that be
that's the
killing?
one
Just to say that.
where Leatherface just squirts right out of his mom and they captured it on film. But, so, yeah, I mean, I'll buy it, so it is what it is. Some cool stuff, though, we got coming up, and we appreciate everybody. We got 116 people in here now since Joe Bob went off the air.
That's exactly what it is, too. I about guarantee it.
Sons of bitches watching Joe Bob. Shame on you.
Fucking shithead.
I don't know if they're watching Joe Bob or they watching Diana. Or Darcy or whatever the hell they're calling her.
I found, somebody mentioned Martin. I found the DVD, the Lionsgate. I think it's Lionsgate, isn't it? Martin DVD.
Yeah, I think
it
that
was,
is. I'd
shit,
sell
too.
that. Try to.
Who did Martin? There was two.
Anchor Bay did one.
And then who was the other one? Was it
And then it was Lionsgate, I think.
Oh,
I think that's what that version is. It looks like it. Anyway.
black? It was like the black one with the
Yeah.
gray. Yeah.
But what we're planning on, though, is on Sunday the 3rd of July, we are going back to Scream Factory, boys. It's kind of our bread and butter. We got to talk to them. And it's one of the more controversial years as well. I think they started having a lot of, that's the year they hired Ronnie Millsap as their quality control specialist. And they started having some issues. So we'll probably talk about that a little bit. But those shows are always a lot of fun.
I always love those. It's weird now, though, because I think you all started that stream with the best of intentions. And now, like, since that started, Scream Factory's gone downhill rapidly. So now it's just like,
Yeah, like I don't even know what year 5 would bring. Like again, as we kind of get going, you can see my collection dwindling compared to the first couple of years. So I don't even know what to expect out of year 5. There's probably a couple big names in there, but
There's a
nothing
few
that I
big
can
names,
remember.
actually. I'm looking at them right now. So that'll be fun. There's
mayor
a
says
lot, too. A lot.
The mayor says the 9th coin figuration.
that's so killer.
Did that sell out? The coin figuration is it
Probably
gone?
because it's got that.
I'm not sure.
We're not gonna replace it now. Like
Let me tell you, though, here's my favorite.
too bad.
My favorite part about doing the Scream Factory shows is that every year we'll get to a new year and Garrett will be like, well, in this particular year, I didn't really buy a lot of stuff. And then he'll have every fucking
Yeah, it's pretty
release.
much all of it, yeah.
So don't you dare even say that shit this time.
I'll have pretty much all the collector's editions, but some of the ones where they did a lot of those collabs with like different companies, like I didn't grab all that. I did some, but not all.
Matt says Joe Bob always has the same old movies that are already on Shudder. They should save 2 films exclusive for the show before it streams on Shudder.
Yeah, that actually would be a good idea.
Yeah, that does make kind of sense. So, only thing about Shudder is it's like on demand. So, I don't know, what if it just, it expires and pops up on there, or what the hell it is.
Wait, Joe Bob's showing Head of the Family?
God, that's
Wow.
that's insane. Isn't that the full moon?
Yeah, with the guy with the big
God,
head. Looks like Krang or whatever. Yeah, that guy. Looks cool.
I haven't seen that in forever.
Oh my god, that's funny.
I would probably
Brad
actually watch that
Pitt?
too.
Woo!
Not to be confused with that piece of shit Brad Pitt. Fuck him.
Wow.
I'm just kidding, Brad
Golly,
Pitt.
buddy.
I don't hate you. I just hate your movies. But guys, it's been fun. Definitely titty fuck that like button, Garrett. Go ahead. It's late night, baby. There shouldn't be no kids up. We can talk like adults on here.
YouTube's gonna pull a Dio on us. No.
Spencers go to sleep after 11 o'clock, Brian Pillman once told me.
But yeah, these shows are always fun, and I think people really enjoy these physical media shows. Like, I mean, I don't know, like we always talked about this sort of thing on the old podcast and radio show and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you guys like it, thumbs it up, and definitely subscribe to both channels. Bulls. It's easy to find now. You can go to borntobirad.com. It'll take you right to Garrett's channel. Isn't that slick how it works that way?
Very slick. Thank you.
But anything else, you guys? You got anything coming up, Garrett, you want to mention?
The one thing I do want to mention is if you guys haven't, I just did a review on a new MBD Rewind title Monday morning. So I just did a review on that on my page, and I actually have a giveaway on that page for a copy of that Blu-ray. So the contest giveaway runs out Monday morning. So if you guys haven't watched that, go watch it and listen to the rules. And if you want that copy and be entered in that contest, just follow the rules that I have on there, and I'll pick a winner on Monday morning. So
cool.
That's about all I want to promote, I guess, for now.
Garrett, have you heard when we're going to have Paul Zamorlini on?
I have not.
I haven't either.
Not heard that.
But I guess that's it, guys. We're going to have Eating Alive commentary on Thursday coming up.
Actually, this is a pretty
always fun.
Good one right here, what Matt said. You should do a live top 10 horror movies for every year in the 80s.
See, I missed that one.
That'd be interesting.
That's actually a good idea.
We should talk about
used to do these, which we could still do some of the same years. It's on the Patreon page, like where we do the year in horror for 1994 or something like that.
85. We picked like all the big years.
Yeah, we've got most of the huge years, but you could always go back and redo them. I mean,
the hell, man, that's been 15 years ago now. We did that, so it's like.
I think it'd be fun to do. You know, we were on a hiatus there for like 4 or 5 years. Go and do years when DEADPIT was not around, like 2016, 2017.
The lost years.
Year in review. Yeah, that'd be a cool idea too. There's plenty of stuff. Oh, I know that guy. I didn't know his last name. The guy from VHS Collector or whatever. Yeah. I don't know his last name. I know his first name's Paul though. But yeah, it would definitely be cool to have him on at some point for sure. But
you know what else though, you motherfuckers?
What's that?
Y'all need to get behind Monday Night Jaws because there's a new edition.
Right.
Coming up this Monday at 10 o'clock. We're going to be doing Jaws the Revenge. I still don't know who's going to be doing it with me because I don't plan these things well.
This time it's personal, bulls.
Yeah, this time it's really, really personal.
He's going to travel all the way from fucking Maine down to the Bahamas. For this bitch. He's
That's
wanting to
right.
get all of them.
And apparently this shark explodes.
Who
when
the
it
fuck
touches
is
in
this
it.
shark? Is this offspring from the Jaws, the original Jaws? Yeah.
This shark is like the fucking Ted Bundy of sharks. Just follows women down to Florida.
Like a slasher.
Yeah. But anyway.
At least it's entertaining, though. I remember we watched that one not too long ago.
Listen.
It is entertaining in how bad it is.
3 and 4 are both like entertaining in like a bad way, and so is Cruel Jaws. So I think from here on out, like it's all going to be amazing. Somebody said it's Jaws the Revenge. No one's going to do the show with you. I feel like we can find somebody that'll do it.
Curly Jaws is like, it's my favorite one.
But yeah, guys, it's been fun, and it's always fun doing these shows. And we will catch you guys on Thursday. It's Toba Hoopa, baby, eating live. Robert England's name is Buck, and what does he like to do, Uncle Bill?
He's Buck, and he likes to
Get in the trunk.
make
Do
relations.
something.
See, things are going better now that we got the Rated G Superstar. We're really starting to rein it in.
I'm keeping you guys in line over here.
Yeah,
feel
we're,
like.
we're trying to keep the curse words down to a little bit of a minimum. Although somebody was surprised they heard you say the F word earlier, Garrett, for the very
did.
first time.
I
What
said
the
it.
hell?
It slipped out.
He does one of those a year. That's all he's like.
Well, we won't hold that against the G-rated superstar.
All right, good.
Ronnie Sampson here. Put that comment up.
Oh, shit. All right, boys, hang on.
I fucking died.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up, buddy? He can hear us really well.
Oh, God.
He liked the show. Yeah, he's telling us how much you liked it.
Oh, God.
The mayor
Maybe
says that
Junkie
we need
John,
to
I
cuss
can't.
more. We need to cuss
I
more.
can't break character. It was my bad. It was a slip. It was kind of like when Kofi started talking normal.
FML, he's got that in there.
Yeah. Whew.
All right. But, guys, yeah, we appreciate it again, and we will catch you guys next time over at DEADPIT.
.com.
And Born to be Rad.
.com. I don't think it has a .com.
Give us the thumbs
I
up.
mean,
We bought it.
up your butt.
Like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that DEADPIT puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on
I
YouTube.
don't like it. I don't want you to touch nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you
Yeah.
dare touch it.
Thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell.
For this video officially, it's Old Curly Jaws has a message for you. Go on over to shop.deadpit.com and go look at their Teen Public store right now. You've got some new shirts like the Old Curly Jaws official t-shirt, which is brutal and badass. You got the Yummy Gummy shirt with the captain himself on the shirt. You got Uncle Bill's face on a fucking shirt. You got the Final Girl shirt. You got all these shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Get them before they're all out, especially the new one, Bedtime 1039. It doesn't get better than that, so go on out. Check out these shirts at shop.deadpit.com. Go look at their Teen Public store. You're going to have a good old time. Get them all!
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DEADPIT on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old DEADPIT radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. DEADPIT on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.